The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Here we are back in the shed with a new game system. Well, at least new to us. Join us at the table as Mickie, JJ, Kurt, Chris, and Joe play the Dresden Files Roleplaying Game from Evil Hat Productions. We definitely like how this case file starts off. Enjoy the podcast. Hi, and welcome to The Shed for Adventures from the Shed. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com, on iTunes, Facebook, Stitcher Radio, Google+, Bing, all over the place. We are here for a special game today, which I will tell you about in a minute after we go around the table and say hi, starting with...
Hey, everyone, this is Mickie.
And this is JJ.
Hey, y'all, it's Kurt.
This is Chris.
Oh, and I'm Joe. We are going to be taking an educated stab at the Dresden Files Roleplaying Game, which is based on the Fate system. None of us has played it as this group before. JJ has had a little bit of experience with it in the past, but in the far past, I believe.
JJ have like a little bit of experience with everything.
Including girls.
I can vouch for that.
And
I'm just kidding.
So we are going to be playing, for our first time as a group, the Dresden Files Role-Playing Game. We are going to be playing one of the pre-published adventures from Evil Hat Productions, and the name of it is Night Fears. So anybody who wants to look that up and critique us as we go along is welcome to. It's a free download from them or from Drive-Thru RPG. So here's how we're going to get started. The way this adventure starts is our characters are a bunch of teenagers, and they're starting by having taken a dare to go to the old Cranston house, which is an abandoned Victorian two-story building which is said to be haunted. And they've taken a dare to stay there overnight. So normally people don't do this, and this group is definitely brave enough to do it. Now the thing is, they're all
stupid or not.
They're all a bunch of teenagers who are about to enter high school. So we're talking 13, 14, 15 years old here in this group. Keep that in mind as we're playing. They all know each other, though not necessarily close friends. Some of you might be close friends, but there are no strangers. Everyone knows of each other from school. And we have our character names, and we'll go back around and just mention your character name and maybe their high concept, which is part of the Dresden Files rules. Go ahead, Mickie.
All right, so I will be playing Jamie Collins. Jamie Collins is a psychic bookworm. She is, I'd say, about 14, auburn hair, kind of nerdy looking, scrawny, hasn't quite grown out of her ugly duckling phase, but she'll get there.
She might.
She will.
All right. JJ here. I'll be playing Mike. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce NG.
I think it's just
Eng. Mike Eng.
Eng.
I think the N and the G are silent. I think you got it right with Mike.
I'm just Mike.
We'll go with that.
And my concept is a troubled medium. And I happen to pick this character, honestly, because of the stunt Infuriate. I am very, very good at making people deliberately angry with me.
So like you in real life.
Exactly.
That's great.
I like it.
Awesome.
It fits, so you know
We
how
don't
to
even
play
have to
that.
role play.
Nice.
Exactly.
All right, I am playing Chris Stein, who we are going to call Stein or Steiny so that we don't confuse player Chris with my character.
Yep.
And Stein is the concept, they call him a trickster changeling. Basically, he's that kid who thinks he's really funny, practical joker, but often takes the jokes a little too far, and maybe people don't actually really like him that much. Might be kind of a douchebag. And
Frat boy in training.
And
Hey, that's an aspect.
Might be kind of a douchebag.
And that's why I have the aspect horny virgin. Because if I were charming, I might not be.
I like the way you pronounce it, horny virgin.
I don't know if I should say it now, but I guess the reason he's a changeling, actually his father is a fae. He's from the fae.
Cool.
And so one of the things with this character, I don't know that will necessarily, any of it will happen today, but he can make elections to embrace more of his fae side to become more supernatural.
More supernatural, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is Chris. I'm playing Andy Drabick. He's the jock in the making. He's the usual, he's got his career planned out, I guess, with his parents all the way through high school and maybe college to get like the scholarship to do something with sports. And I've added the Boy Scout thing. No, he's kind of like the goody two-shoes golden child of the family.
Cool. And one thing I'll mention, and we'll probably mention different things in the rules and the game structure as we go along because we're learning and we're trying to make sure we get some of it right at least. You may notice, for those who are paying attention, we have one pure mortal in the group, and that is Chris's character, Andy. The others are supernatural in some way or another.
Correct.
Now, at this young age, they're just learning. They're apprentices, or probably not even apprentices. They may not even be aware that they are supernatural. Although I would imagine that Stein is aware, in one way or another, that his dad isn't mortal.
I don't know, maybe.
Typically, the Fae don't stick around.
They don't stick around, so he may or may not
Yeah,
know.
and that's something you decide. But where that comes into play is, at least for this game session, what it really means is the mortal has more fate points to use, which means they can affect things more often via fate point. Whereas others don't have that. However, they have their supernatural powers, which give them extra things to do. And that's the basis of what it means between mortal and supernatural. Pure mortal, I guess.
Okay.
Now what we're going to do is we are going to go through, at the beginning of this adventure, there are some questions we're going to be asking. I say myself, as a GM, I will be asking of the group. And the answers to this will help us establish relationships between the characters and how you might want to play as we're going into the adventure. So first, the game itself came with, or this adventure came with 7 characters. There are 3 that did not get used. So the question to the group is, which character was supposed to be here that didn't show?
I'm saying Terry.
I'm going to say Terry, too.
Terry?
The devout religious guy.
Ah.
He pushed out on us.
Okay.
Well, that's
So-
half the
It
fault.
was a church shut-in.
Yeah.
So essentially, you guys are unhappy that the churchy didn't decide to
Yeah.
come along for the haunted house ritual. Okay.
What a loser.
The church.
Y'all aren't really fond of Terry,
Well,
huh?
it's,
He's always talking about this or that.
Accepting
It's like-
Jesus into your life.
It's like a Jehovah Witness that doesn't get
Nice,
the hint.
nice. So are you happy that he's not here then?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
We're still going to rag on him when we see him in class.
You should, definitely.
Absolutely.
Damn it, I just broke my pencil tip.
I mean, that might be because I put salt in his gas tank. I'm not entirely sure. But
He's not
car?
driving
He
yet because
doesn't
he's
drive
13.
yet.
Because
dad's gonna be
Terry's not
pissed.
going to fall for the banana in the
his
tailpipe.
dad's gas tank.
Oh,
Land on the tailpipe. Yeah.
All right, next question.
Or, it could be the pregnancy test that I put in his sister's trash can and his mom found. Yeah, there's a bunch of reasons Terry might not be here this week.
That probably.
I mean, we really didn't want him around, right?
I don't know. I think he's kind of cute.
Or it could be that voicemail that I left on their answering machine.
Could be.
Pretending to be
Answering
the
machine.
pool boy coming over for the mom. I bet the dad didn't like that one.
And when Kurt just mentioned the words answering machine, it made me remember another thing I want to mention to those listening. We are playing in the modern day. So for us, 2017, May for that matter. So the reason I say that is not too many people use an answering machine anymore. But that doesn't mean that
I imagine
a
churchgoers.
Yeah, but
yeah.
churchgoers
They definitely have one, and it's beeping when they come home and the lights flashing. Right? Okay.
Joe's mocking me because I have an answering machine that's right as I come in the door, beeps at me every time I come home.
Next question, and this is going to tie 2 of the characters together. So amongst the 4 of you, think about who this applies to. 2 of you used to be best friends but had a falling out. What happened? Whose fault was it? And what does everyone else think about it? Ooh. So first, who used to be best friends? I guess for the purposes of this adventure, who wants to be slightly adversarial with the other? And
So
it might not just be slightly.
I have an idea, and
Okay.
see if someone picks up on it. So I'm playing Mike, and I see ghosts.
Yeah.
And maybe someone's parent died, and I told them that their parents are still around, and they're I try to convey a message from the other side, and they don't believe me.
That's John Edwards crossing over right there.
So if anyone wants
Does
to
someone
pick
have
up
dead
on
parents?
Yeah, it's got to be one of you guys. So I definitely don't have. He doesn't have dead parents.
What do you think?
I have a trickster.
It's
face.
This is Captain America, pure white boy
Yeah.
here. You know.
He's honky white. He's see-through white, like Mickie.
or maybe a dead aunt, or something like that. I don't know.
A dead family member
Could be a brother or sister maybe.
that maybe you grieved over.
Ooh,
and,
maybe someone
then
who's a
he
twin.
yeah.
In the womb, and then they ate their twin.
Or somebody's entire Boy Scout troop got killed in a bus crash, and they were the only one to survive.
And you guys are so much
That's all my
darker. I
fault.
was just thinking that I had a crush on Mickey's character, tried to kiss her, and now she doesn't like me.
Well, there could be that
could
too.
be going
Yeah, there you go. Hey, yeah.
He's like the Weasley guy, always trying to get in on all the women.
So the answer is then, what do we want to go with?
There you go.
I don't care.
I vote for the Kurt Mickey dynamic because I need Mickey to be angry at someone other than me.
I like that.
Yeah, there's like
There
a
we go.
spin no
Well, maybe
bottle
she's not
game.
really angry. See, we were really good. Like we were really good friends through grade school. And
Exactly.
And I think she's awesome because she's smart and cool. But
You try to
I'm
do
trying to be
7 minutes
funny,
in
and I
heaven.
always end up kind of douchey.
When you
And
went
then
to kiss her, you had a joy buzzer in your mouth and you pushed it against her
Ooh.
lips.
You used your glamour power on the spin the bottle.
maybe I put the whoopee cushion down one too many times. Whatever.
Okay, so
So-
Jamie finds.
But I am roguishly handsome.
So
because
here's
I got a fake
here's the
ass,
first
so.
question. What happened? What was it that happened? Whose fault was it? It sounds like it
Oh,
was
it's definitely
Stein's
my fault, but you can tell
But
me
what was it
happened.
that happened? Yeah.
Let's do the spin the bottle thing. We were
Yeah.
playing
Okay.
spin the bottle, and you were using your glamour, and it got
He
really
cheated.
annoying. You
He cheated at spin
and
the
I
bottle.
didn't appreciate it because I didn't
Okay.
want to kiss you because we grew up together. So I kind of see you as like my best friend or whatever. I wanted to kiss. What is Terry?
Terry.
The church guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't want to kiss Danny?
Well, remember
Danny?
remember
Girl in the
her.
plaid skirt with the.
she hasn't gotten to college yet. She's
Yeah.
not
Andy's going
exploring.
after.
Nor
Remember
does she
though,
have any
Jamie.
cherry
Jamie
chapstick.
is a nerd, so the nerd might be going after the other low key
Yeah.
person.
Okay.
Right. And then the next piece of that question is, what does Andy and Mike think about that situation?
And that would also explain why I put salt in the or sugar in the gas tank. So
Yeah,
Terry
'cause-
couldn't be here.
I think Stein needs
makes
to
sense
grow
now.
up.
Yeah, well, definitely.
That's definitely true.
Guess put Jug.
Playing this one close to home.
Ooh, what does Mike think of this? He's jealous
Yeah. Of which one?
of him making the first move, of Stein making the first move.
Ah.
Jealous because he likes her or because he wishes.
I think so.
You're nodding, but this is an
Yeah,
audio
no,
recording.
yeah, no.
It's so sweet that you roleplay.
I love when people nod at the
that you
drive-through.
roleplay
You want fries
your
with that?
wife.
Yes.
So
All right. So what did we end up with?
what I have
So
here
just to be
is
clear, we're not flirty. You are mad at me. You don't like me.
no.
right
You
now.
guys used to be
I mean,
best
you like me
friends
because we were best friends, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't like me right now because we're
Ex-
13 or 14.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And hormones are raging.
Hormones are raging.
So at a spirited game of spin the bottle, Jamie was cheated by Stein and had to kiss him, and she's really upset about that. Did the kiss actually happen, or did it?
It's spin the bottle. You have to.
Okay, so it happened, and you resent that the
Yeah.
rules.
There are
forced
rules,
you.
man.
There are
Yes.
rules.
At least it wasn't 7 seconds to heaven
Yeah.
or whatever the
7 seconds. 7 minutes in
Is
heaven.
it 7 minutes in heaven?
7 seconds.
So
Well, I
Andy,
mean, that's
and
pretty
Andy
standard,
thinks,
right?
Andy
Horny
thinks
virgin
Stein-
there.
7 seconds. Who is that
Does that
champion?
even count? Who is that champion?
So Andy thinks Stein needs to grow up, and Mike is jealous that he didn't get that shot.
Yep.
All right. Next.
And Jamie's just like, boys.
And you know, this is funny. I didn't even read ahead on this one, JJ, and I wish I had because this might have worked with your first one. But anyway, in the past week, one of you has had a death in the family. Who was it? And how did they die? And how does that make you feel about ghosts? I kind of want to say that Mike should be excluded from this because he already has a feeling about ghosts.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, the afterlife, so to speak.
Well, then maybe
So-
we could use your thing too.
But that might not make it. It's not that you had a conflict and a falling out with him. You just
right. It's just a
in
thing.
this case, right? So who had a death in the family? And again, it doesn't have to be immediate family.
We'll say I lost a
but-
grandparent, maybe.
Okay.
You just lost your grandpa. Aw.
On which side, mom or dad?
Ooh,
Dad's
your
side.
grandpa was
Dad's
a
side.
World War II vet.
Yeah, my
There
dad.
you
He
go.
was your hero.
So Andy's grandfather on his dad's side
Yep.
recently died in the past week. How did he die?
Old age.
Yeah, we'll say old age. You know.
Okay. And
Peaceful in his sleep.
yeah, you guys.
Shrapnel finally reached his heart.
Yeah. Took him
Iron Man.
60 years. Yeah.
Nice.
Since you're pleading to Captain America.
He had 2 20-something escorts in his hotel room and it fit the vodka.
But it was natural.
Yeah.
It was natural.
Grandpa was a boss.
And then the next question there is, how does that make Andy feel about ghosts? And remember, he's pure mortal, right?
Yeah, he doesn't believe in that stuff.
Okay, so it doesn't. he just flat out doesn't believe in the death of his grandfather.
No, I mean, he believes he died, but I mean, he doesn't believe in anything crazy supernatural.
Okay.
I mean, he believes in like probably heaven and hell, but not anything crazy going on.
Yeah. So you're channeling Terry. Nice. All right.
So of the four of us, three of us are in the know.
In some way, yeah. Either you know these things you can do are supernatural, or you do them without knowing, but you know you can do it. Right. Now here's a fun one. I think this is probably, for me, one of the most fun questions. Out of the four of you, one of you was not invited to come along tonight, but you showed up anyway.
Him.
Who was it?
Stein. It's
Okay.
always Stein. man.
Stein.
And now that we know it's Stein, why would you do that?
Why would I show up anyways?
Yep.
Ooh, see,
'Cause he's a dude.
See, this is the thing
This
too,
is the
right?
aspect.
Hey, we could also go with me because of my infuriate thing.
Plus the ghost thing, you want to go into a haunted house.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that even might be better.
So
All
it's
right.
me.
So Mike
I wasn't
showed up
invited.
anyway.
I wasn't invited, and I did it specifically because I like knowing where I stand with people. And if everyone's pissed at me, I know where I stand.
And he might be hoping that a spirited game of Spin the Bottle starts up. in the
Oh, there
haunted
you go.
house, right?
There's only one girl. What the fuck?
Hashtag quotes around the spirit.
Hey,
huh?
why you spinning everyone straight here? I mean, I got to defend Dad. I could go either way, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
I mean, Andy is a jock in the making here.
Did he say Faye or?
Oh my!
Yeah. The fact that everyone pointed at me, though, just to be clear,
It was awesome.
Like,
he's the prankster.
but
right?
but I have to, there's gonna be some reason I'm there. Like maybe I get the weed or something.
Now this could
We're 13.
think of that for a minute while I ask the next question. Only one of you is here because of another character. Who are you following and why? This could still apply to
Yeah,
Mike.
Yeah,
Maybe.
this does
but
apply to Mike.
It
but
might still apply to what Kurt was just saying about Stein, that he's here for something. Maybe it's for someone.
Maybe you
Maybe
want to
you're
make
trying to get
a
another
package.
shot.
I'm pining in my heart for Jamie. I don't want her to get
Yeah.
killed in a
He wants her to
haunted
get scared
house.
and grab onto him.
Or
maybe,
get,
That's
or
what
get
it
raped
is.
by these two guys that she's going running off with.
Jesus.
I'm not that kind
man.
of sports guy. Jeez.
Sorry, I keep thinking we're 18, not 13.
We're 13.
We're 13.
Yeah.
Or 14 or 15, I would say that's the range.
We're like
13,
Goonies
14.
Yeah,
level.
13 is too
You know?
young. I gotta,
All right,
I gotta be
14.
at least 14 in my mind.
So we're 14. 14 going on 15.
Just think Goonies.
yeah.
14 going on 13 in some cases.
So you're like just thinking about boobies and wanting to grab.
Yeah, there's actually not a lot of thought. I'm pretty much like, girl I like, she's there, I'm there.
I'm there. Done.
Yes.
So I imagine Kurt's character is that character in the lunch line who, when the girl's behind him, he goes to start moving forward when the lunch line progresses and then stops short, hoping that the girl
That she
behind
runs
him
into
runs
him.
into his back
Yeah.
so he can cop a feel through his
Oh
shoulder
yeah.
blades.
Oh yeah. Nice.
God, it brings back the good old days.
JJ's pulled this move off.
Yes, I have.
What are you talking about? That's his signature move.
I know about that move. Yeah.
He stopped short.
What are you talking about? I copped a feel. What?
He's still doing it. He's
You
like going
ran
out the
into
door
me.
to work. Go here, honey. Oh!
So now here's one that's not quite as a happy or fun thought, but which one of you is going to a different school starting in the fall? And how do you feel about leaving your friends?
I'll do that. Jamie.
Jamie's going to a different school.
Jamie's going to a different school. And
So
she's
we're
not
all
happy.
trying to establish that relationship before she goes.
Yeah. You want to be able to exchange texts and emojis and stuff like
Are you going to like a good prep school or are you like going to military school?
A good prep school. Yeah, so my parents are pulling me out of public school and sending me to, because I didn't say this, but Jamie's her psychometry.
Yeah, you check something,
Psychometry,
you get
yep.
the history on it.
I keep
Basically,
thinking psychometry,
which me-
so bear with me if
whatever.
I say it that way.
Psychometry or psychometry. The people
Yeah.
listening can correct
Let's go
me.
with psychometry. Just
So she's got like this psychic talent where she touches objects and gets flashes of their history. So her parents think that she's going
Go ahead.
apeshit, like she's going psycho. So they're pulling her out of public school because they think that it's the influences of all these bad kids that
Yeah.
are turning her. They don't realize that it's just her supernatural ability.
This
So-
could actually work right into the next question, and I think it should, so I'm going to add this to it. The next question is, bullies have been targeting one of you. What was
Jamie.
the latest incident, and how are you going to deal with it? Sounds like dealing with it is going to a different school,
Yeah.
maybe?
And
Yeah, I'm a
actually,
freak,
let's
actually.
say, what's her name? What's that bitch's name? Here we go.
Danny.
Danny? Yeah.
Danny's been bullying
Yeah.
Jamie because
Okay.
Danny's like the mean girl.
Mean Girls.
in school, and Jamie had a flash during, let's call it gym class. Why not? Let's pull all the tropes, right? So she had a flash during gym class. She picked up, I don't know, some sort of sports equipment and just wigged out for a sec. Danny saw it, and since then has been making fun of Jamie, calling her a witch or whatnot.
So I had it right?
Psychometry.
Because Kurt's sitting here with a laptop, I kind of secretly asked him to look it up. It's psychometry.
There you go.
Nice. So I thought I heard the dictionary.com reading it out to you. Yeah. Cool. Hey, I did something right.
Woohoo!
Woohoo. That's it for today.
That's the highlight for the week.
I'm not going to do anything else
That's
right
all,
the rest
folks.
of the day. All right, so that's great. Next, who had the idea for this dare, and how did you talk everyone else into it?
Boy Scout?
I think this one fits naturally with Mike, but maybe somebody else wants to.
Or-
I mean, haunted house.
you
you
might
see
have had
dead
it.
people.
You might have had
I
it,
mean,
you know.
Well, maybe you had it because everyone thinks
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
a goody
yeah, 'cause
two-shoes.
you're a goody
and you
Would I
two-shoes.
dare people to do this, though?
Totally would.
No,
Yeah.
but maybe...
Well, if you see them as a bunch of misfits, you might, because you're going to be able to
Wait,
last.
is
There's
that-
no such thing as a haunted house.
Oh, yeah, that's not
Right?
bad. Toughen you guys up.
Yeah.
You lack discipline.
I don't know. You lack this.
Yeah,
Well, he thinks you need to grow up
That's
anyway.
tough, though.
You might get
That's
scared
stretching
straight.
it on my guy.
Okay.
But it works, but it's, I mean...
I figured I'd throw that out.
I just
don't
want to
know-
bring you into it a little bit more because
Yeah, I don't think
we've been
we-
kind of.
Well, his grandfather died
That's true.
of hookers and vodka.
Yeah, it's too
Or natural
funny.
causes.
That's not what my parents told me.
They told me
You
scotch.
think that he passed away like in his
Yeah.
sleep, when in
Yeah.
reality it was just
He
a
was
wild
rock-
orgy.
yeah.
Yeah. He had a bunch of scotch
He did it every weekend, yeah.
I mean, it could
So what do
be...
you think?
Uh,
Who actually initiated the dare? I
Does it
mean,
have to be somebody in the group?
Yep.
Okay.
It's one of you, because as the game plays out, you can start to say, damn it, why'd you make us come here?
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
I think it fits with the trickster.
It fits with the
Yeah, it would
trickster
make-
or the guy who might want to talk to ghosts. It's a haunted house, after all.
Yeah, I'm good either way.
Yeah. So I've got so far, we've got Stein and Jamie had the relationship. Andy's grandfather died. I say relationship, close friendship. Mike showed up when he wasn't invited. So that probably wouldn't be the person who initiated
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dare.
It probably makes sense for me to have done it.
All right. So then Stein initiated the dare. Why'd you do it? Not necessarily why'd you do it. The question really is, how did you talk everyone else into this? There's candy in there.
That
Right?
gets me every time.
Yeah.
Uh,
What do you think, Kurt?
Why not? It was a rite of passage that got stopped, and you're wanting to bring it back up.
yeah, or it could be that we were all going to have to go on a church trip with Terry. This is our way.
Well, I dare you guys to
It's like-
spend the night in the Cranston house instead.
There was like a retreat.
I like that because I said earlier Terry didn't come because he was going to a church shut-in,
Yeah, and so we were all supposed to go on something like some
and we all
that
said,
explains how we got away from our parents.
young
at, like,
life type
14.
thing, and then but we're all in our own way too cool or too edgy,
And
or
at some
like
point,
in a different way to
at
want
some
to do
point,
that.
Stein was with Jamie and Andy and said, "But don't tell Mike," because he wasn't invited.
Yeah.
He
And
just
Mike
showed up.
Because he just
Right.
wants to, yeah.
And then he heard that the group was going up to the haunted house.
Well, see, I'm douchey, but I'm not an outsider because we've always been friends. Like I
Exactly.
hang with everyone, but I'm like the Seth Green character in Buffy at first. You know, when like Seth Green first comes on and Oz is
yeah.
like too cool and he thinks he's cool, but he's not. Like I'm kind of like that
Nice.
guy.
I see that.
So, but we're still friends.
Right, yeah,
Yes.
So it,
Everyone knows each
and
other.
we're all like, we don't want to go on this retreat. This sucks. This sucks. How are we gonna get out of this?
Let's go to
And
the
so I
Mon
dare
house.
everyone to do
Go to
it.
the Cranston house.
And we just tell our parents that we're going on the retreat, and instead,
Yeah.
I dare them to go do this.
So now this kind of plays possibly into the pranksters idea. When you dared them to do it, what did you say they would get if they stayed all night, and how would they be embarrassed if they left early? You got to offer some prize for the winner and some, embarrassment for the teenage loser. What would you say?
Could be one of the, if you don't stay, you get one of the infamous Stein pranks pulled on you in school sometime
be.
during the next week.
Yes, unannounced.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I could have
Unpredicted.
told Jamie that I would mess with the bottle and spin the bottle for the rest of her life. If she
I
didn't
just
do
won't
it.
kiss you, you loser.
No, I'll make you kiss like the ugly, nasty fat girls.
Or Terry. Well, no, she wanted to kiss Terry.
Or
Yeah,
Terry.
it's not going to work.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll let you guys pick what the.
Well, it's got to
I think it's just pride. I mean, at age 13,
Yeah.
14, it's mostly like, I mean,
So-
like you don't believe in ghosts, so then you'd be a pussy if you didn't do it.
Yeah.
right.
And-
So then you would go around the school telling people that he didn't do it.
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's the
Right,
embarrassment.
which if you're like a wannabe,
if
Ruin
you-
his image a little bit.
If you lose, then
I did
Stein
it,
is
you
going to
didn't.
tattle on you to everybody who matters.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now here are some personalized questions for the characters, and I will go in the order I have them here. Andy, what sport do your parents want you to participate in, and how do you feel about that?
Baseball, and I
Baseball?
dig it.
Baseball. Oh, he likes baseball. Okay. Maybe make some baseball references as we go. All right. Next, Stein. Is your Fey parent your mother or your father?
my father.
Have you met him or her? Him, I guess.
I remember him, but I haven't seen him since I was 5 or 6.
Now, this question may not make much sense, not knowing the Dresden verse. However, Mickie or JJ could help clarify better than I could, I'm sure. Is your father aligned with summer or winter? And what that means is
Good or bad?
Essentially,
they're all bad to mortals.
Yes.
But within the Fey world, there's the good guys and the bad guys.
Yeah,
The winners are the
good. He'd be good.
So summer.
Summer is more
trickster.
capricious. Summer is more capricious, whereas winter is more stern.
Yeah, because it's the harshness of winter.
Summer.
Summer makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so
He's like the fun, crazy uncle.
so your
who, like,
dad
comes
is
in,
your Fey parent.
trashes the place for the weekend, and then leaves, and you're like,
Yep.
"What happened here?"
That-
Like,
that
that's
aligns.
my dad.
So your dad is aligned with summer, and
My
he is the
mother,
Fey
my
parent.
mother still looks wistfully in the distance when she thinks about those good old days.
Probably, yeah.
Out in the woods.
The Fey
Every
have a
mannequin
pretty
actor
powerful
just
effect on
wasn't-
mortals.
Out in the woods.
Jamie,
Yep.
Tennessee.
Jamie, what is the best story you've ever gotten from touching an object? Because remember, your character can do this.
Ooh, I was at an
shampoo
antique
bottle
shop, and I came across.
It was when I touched myself and I thought about you.
Woo!
Sorry,
When I
antique
think
shop.
about you.
Yes.
I was in an antique shop. I touched this like really antique pendant, and I got this story of, "What are you laughing at? Fuck off, asshole."
That was the story?
That was the
That's
story.
awesome.
So it was like this flashback of this late model from the 1940s who. This was a family heirloom, so I got flashbacks of her life. She was really, really happy, grew to
Like
old age.
Fashion model type model? Okay.
My grandfather knew her probably.
Yeah.
Grandfather probably banged her.
Yes. she was some of the shrapnel that was in him.
So
Ooh.
I just kind of like
Nice.
got flashes of her life.
Okay.
She was really happy marriage, happy kids, and like that made
was-
me feel better.
And that was
about
a great story, but what was the worst?
I came across the fuck. Jamie almost touched your special sock. Ew, yeah. Okay, I like that. So I do. Okay, so I have
I
to
did not
change my
write
story
this.
a bit.
I did not write this.
But you are Jamie.
I'm Jamie.
Almost touched your special.
His,
His. Okay. All right. There was a note passed on the table for those listening.
Okay, so let's do that. So that
No, that's too gross.
Yeah,
That's
it
pretty
kind of is there.
It's just
But-
your husband.
So we had this great image, and it was probably a great feeling of seeing somebody else's life, the story of what they were like in the 40s. Then some other object you touched, may have been in the same antique shop, gave you the worst story that you've had from touching an object.
I came across like war memorabilia.
That's good.
Okay.
And I saw, let's call it a helmet. I came across an
Okay.
old army helmet, World War
Oh, maybe it
I
was
or II.
your
Yeah,
grandfather.
yeah.
Maybe when after his grandfather died, you touched something of his recently.
So I
Maybe
saw.
you got the flag or helmet or something he
Yeah.
wore in World War II.
So I got flashbacks of a really grisly like battle
Okay.
scene, like
Yeah.
out in the trenches, people getting
Yeah.
blown apart and whatnot.
Omaha Beach.
There you go.
All right. Talk for a second while I write this.
Oh dang!
Talk amongst
Your
yourselves.
grandfather fought in the Pacific Theater. Holy crap!
It's badass.
All right,
I
last
did have a grandfather
one.
actually that fought in the Pacific Theater.
There you go. Mike, who else at the table knows what you can do?
Ooh,
I almost want to say it can't be Andy because
yeah, it can't
Andy
be Andy
doesn't
'cause
believe in
he
ghosts.
doesn't believe.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm going to go with Andy because
Yeah.
I tried to tell him that his grandpa is still around.
So he knows it, he just doesn't accept it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And maybe that's why, even though I wasn't invited, I came, because Grandpa told me to watch out for him.
So then we already
Cool.
have the
I dig
second
that.
part of that question answered, which is how did they find out? Because you told him. And how did they react? Disbelief.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It's cool.
Now, here's the next thing. And you can say anything you want to this question, and we'll go in whatever order you guys want to go in. Each of you have to come up with a short, being the key word here, short ghost story that one of your parents told you about the Cranston house.
Ooh.
Yeah. And you don't have to say it right now, but in the first act, as we go into the house, as we start the adventure, you guys are going to be sitting around, and at some point I'll tell you now it's time to, start talking about the story that your parents told you about this house. This is tropes, right? This whole adventure is.
I want to say that there was that one episode of Supernatural
Which
that
one?
that I really, really liked. And essentially the guy that used to live in the Cranston house worked in the morgue, and he would sometimes steal cadavers and bring their bodies back and taxidermy them. And
Fuck out of my head.
Does
Fuck
it have-
you.
Joe, does it have to be a ghost story, or can it just be a creepy, macabre story?
Yes.
Yeah.
so, yeah, he would
My
taxidermy.
fake dad might tell us some story
You're not
about
supposed to
Yeah.
tell it yet.
goblins.
So let's do this. Let me kick
Great.
off Act 1.
Okay.
And because that's where we're going to be as this happens. So Act 1 begins with the four of you meeting in front of the Cranston house a couple hours before midnight, so around 10-ish. And now this is where you want to start talking about the things that you guys have know about each other, and the things you know now because we learned them while we're sitting here. And you can start mentioning your story if you want.
Yeah.
As you approach the house again, you can use this picture as a reference because that's it. That's the Cranston house. And for those listening, if you go look at it, the cover page of this adventure, Night Fears, has a picture of the Cranston house.
And this is not a huge mansion. This is just kind of a two-story.
No, it's a
house.
two-story, and it has, let me
Wrap-around
see.
porch.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms on the first floor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms on the second floor, smaller, and it also has a cellar and an attic.
Right.
So it's not huge. I'd say it's probably maybe a 3,000 square foot. It's a big house, but it's not a huge mansion.
Okay.
So go ahead. You guys are all getting together now.
So we're not going to just meet and sit and talk about the fact that I played Spin the Bottle badly with James.
I don't know if you're going to or
That might
not.
come up later,
might bring it up.
maybe. or
Well,
maybe-
the idea is to
Or
play,
not.
Everybody know
play
about it,
some
though?
form of possibly resentment and apologetic. That could be that's the idea here. You had a falling out; it was your fault. So maybe you're sorry for it. Maybe you're not.
right.
And then she might still resent the
It's kind
idea.
of cool to me. I don't even make
Yeah.
a big deal of it.
Exactly.
It's just it is what it is.
Just like, oh, there goes
For now.
Stein. Everything
Yeah.
you say.
Like
it's
if you're about to die, maybe I'll profess my undying love for
When
you.
you
and
sit
Ghost
down
Boy over
when you
here
sit
will,
down in the house, she might say, "I hope there's no bottles around here," and then give you a glare, that kind of thing, right?
I know
So-
we're not
Crap
playing
like that.
tonight.
So 10 o'clock at night, it's already dark. You guys are meeting outside of the house. You see the house and maybe say hello to each other.
and it's dark, right? No lights.
Well, it's 10 o'clock.
No, in the house.
Oh, yeah. the
It's
house-
abandoned.
It's an
Now,
abandoned-
there are neighboring houses and stuff. Nothing, it's not like downtown or a Boston or something where the houses are 2 feet apart from each other. There's some space, but you're walking down a residential street to get to the Cranston house, which is abandoned, boarded up.
It looks like it's on at least an acre lot, if not a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
So it's got space, but while you meet there, you've walked past houses. There are some street lights, etc.
So we're walking and we get there.
So
Yeah.
we meet at the house? Or
You guys are meeting outside the house.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I'll walk up, and I'm going to sit on the swing. Going to test it first to make sure that the rope hasn't frayed too much.
You're
And,
pretty sure as you start to put weight on it that you should stop.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now
There's the obligatory creak and a couple of the sounds of a little bit of the rope starting to snap as you put some weight on it.
So then I'll try to act like that didn't happen and lean all cool like up against a tree.
Yeah. Go, Mike.
I thought you said Mike wasn't coming.
I didn't ask him.
You better
I
not
didn't
say
lie.
anything about my grandfather. That's all I know.
Damn right.
Dude, what are you doing here, man?
And I heard about this, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss out,
All I don't know if you can hide, man. There's all kind of creepy, crawling, nasty things in there, dude. They could totally eat your face off.
You know why the house is abandoned, right?
Is Stein going to be Jeff Spicoli?
Maybe a little
That's
bit.
awesome.
Oz cross with Spicoli.
Perfect.
he
Fast
does
Times
have
at
the
Ridgemont High.
Yeah, I've got my headphones on.
Nice.
I'm
Okay.
waiting for the pizza man.
So you nailed it right there, and it made me think of it.
I mean, there's a bunch of reasons. I know the real one. What are you going to tell me?
No, the last guy that lived there. You heard about him, right? He worked at the city morgue, and he would bring home Jane Does and John Does, and anyone who didn't claim the body. And instead of incinerating them, he would bring them home and stuff them.
That's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, we all know Old Man Cranston had his grandmother up there in the attic and left her there to die. He didn't want to take care of her. You heard about that.
That's not what happened either.
That's totally what happened.
No.
I mean, I don't believe in any of that crap anyway, but I mean.
So as you guys are outside talking, one of the things you notice is the doors are boarded up, the windows are blocked, and they're covered with big sheets of graffiti-covered plywood. And you're going to have to figure out how to get into the house if you're going to want to carry forth your dare. So you may think about that as you're trading stories.
That's not what happened. I
No
heard
problem. I got explosives.
Old Man Cranston. What, cherry bombs?
M80s.
They're on my list. Cherry bombs, MD80s.
That's not,
Old Man Cranston died of a broken heart. His wife died, and instead of letting her go, I heard that he brought her back to the house and preserved her. And every night they had dinner, and he just kept living as though she was still here. And I heard they found him dead in his room next to the cadaver.
you know, one thing that they didn't really consider in the adventure that I'm thinking of now is I'm curious how close you guys come to the actual story. And I think about that because Mickie isn't. I mean, you're far off, but you're way closer than his.
I don't know. You guys are all wrong. You're totally off, man. This thing's on a ley line, and there are all kind of demons and shit that hang out and come through here all the time. And it's where they stay when they're like going from one place to another, and they want to come and they want to eat some little kids and kill some dogs.
Stein, man, you got to lay low on that stuff. Come on.
I
you're-
think you've been watching too many TV shows.
Man, it's all kind of crazy stuff around here. You don't
gotta
even
get
know.
serious.
He's reading
only-
too many
Look,
Jim
we're going to
Butcher
high school
novels.
next year. You got to get serious. Time to get serious, man.
The only monsters that are here are
Seriously.
in my backpack. Seriously, I got monsters. Anyone want one?
Oh God!
Yeah, I'll take one.
There you go.
Energy drink. Now, which flavor did you give him?
It was the white ones.
The Ultra Zero.
Yeah,
white
the Ultra
one?
Zero white
Nice.
ones.
Man, do I look like
How
I
does
need
Andy
do I
feel
look
about
like
a
I need upper-
zero-calorie energy drink?
Oh, he's all about it.
0 calories,
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
Even for the budding jock?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
He's working on his six-pack, right?
Yeah, that's right.
How are you guys going to get in?
All right, so since you've got like all this stuff, why don't you try to get us in Stein? Let's see if you can
So is
jerry
the door
rig this.
boarded up too, or?
Well, every normal entry is boarded up. Doors, windows, everything. The idea here is to start to get into your characters and how would you break into the haunted house.
Well, I mean, this I tried to sit on the swing earlier, and it
Yeah.
almost broke.
There's got to be some rotted wood here.
I can't
I'm gonna get out my
imagine.
flashlight and look around.
Okay.
You're pretty good at getting things to go your way, Stein. Why don't you see if you can get us?
I mean, I'm tempted to go down the chimney, but I think we can just break in. Some
what the hell are
window
you, Santa
boards.
Claus?
No, his dad was Summer Santa Claus.
I just like to fit into dark, tight holes.
Dude! All right, so looking around with the flashlight, you do notice that there's one of the windows right near the front door does have some rotted wood on it, and you could probably, with a little effort, you could probably pry that off.
All right, I'll pry it off.
You know anybody who's athletic?
Oh yeah, strong
Yeah.
guy.
Okay. There is nothing to roll here. It's just an idea of starting to get into your characters. So you work out your entry strategy.
I work out.
In this
all right.
case, in this case, it's going to be relatively easy, and we'll get you inside. So right inside, that you're on the porch, and you get through the window, so you go right into the living room. And again, bear with me a little as I find the right spot in here to give you some description. All right, so the living room is a big room. And again, I'll show you a little bit of this. So this is the map. You're on the porch. This is the living room. So it's kind of a big room.
Yep.
Okay. The living room is a big room. It's empty. It has fading wallpaper, and there's plaster falling off of the walls, exposing those wooden beams behind the plaster that you would see in an older house. And then in between those are the dark gaps that almost seem like they go into almost forever infinity, kind of. It's so dark. In one corner, there's a soiled mattress, probably Sparkstein's interest, and some insignificant but unpleasant trash in another corner. So this is the big room on the first floor of the house. So you guys are now inside, and just as you're getting inside, you see one of the lights from a neighboring house turn on. Somebody's probably trying to figure out what's going on over there.
Turn off the flashlight.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Turn off all the flashlights.
Hurry up and get in here.
So it's very dark in here.
Where do you guys want to set up and
Wicked
sleep?
dark.
Yeah,
Not
what's
on
the
that
plan,
mattress.
Stein? How long are we
It's pretty
staying here?
gross.
Till daylight?
And-
Stay till the sun comes up.
Yeah.
All right.
JJ has a good point there. As in every haunted house movie, you've got to set up a camp, the place that you're going to set up, put your sleeping bags out, what have you.
Living
And
room.
the
Got a
living
nice
room is
mattress
the
over
biggest
there
room.
for you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
This seems like a pretty big room. We don't need to sleep
is.
next to each other or anything.
Right.
And
As long as I'm not next to that one. She
Hey,
points
look,
at
if my
Stein.
grandfather told me anything, we don't want to.
I know, I'm so good looking. It'd be
In case
hard
we
to
get any
sleep that
bums
close.
coming in here, we only want one entry
Yes.
point in.
Don't sleep with your back to a boarded up
Yeah,
door.
that's right. We should find a room that only one way in.
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Okay.
We should find some place with an outlet so we can plug in our phones.
There's no power here.
I'm just kidding.
She's got a point.
Well, there's
there.
those ley lines.
In quotes, mind you. Air
Actually,
quote with ley
I
line.
did bring a big battery pack that doubles as a flashlight.
Good job.
Thanks,
So
Mike.
I'm curious from the first three stories. Then, what as you get inside and start maybe setting up your sleeping bags and stuff in the living room, what does Andy think of the stories that were told so far, and what was he told?
I was told that the old man Cranston left his mother up in the attic to
Yeah.
die. Didn't want to
Okay.
take care of her. Tried her for crap.
So what does he think of the other stories?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
really believe in any of that crap. I mean, who knows? It's like the usual town.
It's
you know,
all BS.
Town rumors, you know.
Okay.
So I think we should go up to the attic, though.
Straight to the attic?
Yeah, why not?
Go straight up to
Isn't
the
this
attic.
your
I like
party?
that. Isn't this your party? All you got to do is last the night. That was the dare.
I could see.
in the
I could
haunted
see Andy doing that. He's trying to unnerve the person who bet him to prove how tough he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys want to walk around? You going to explore?
Yeah.
let's
Let's
explore.
let's
Yeah.
put down our backpacks. Where do you want to do that? Like, where are we going to stay?
We're staying in the living room.
Well, let's just look around first, and we'll just make a decision later.
It's so heavy, though.
Then put it down. Maybe you should work out.
Whiner.
So here's where I'll give you guys this. Just if you could ignore the little post-it looking things there, because I don't know if they're things you know right away or not. But that's the floor plan of the house. I have one here on my own copy. So you are in the living room, and if you look there, you came in through the porch, essentially. So we can say you pretty much came in through the door. It was a window right next to the door that you found. You're in the living room. As you can see on the first floor, there's also a dining room, a kitchen, and a study. And the reason I felt it's probably a good idea to give you guys a floor plan is because if you live near here, you've probably seen houses with the same floor plan at one point or another. So you could guess at what is where. And there's no secret. It's not like a secret entrance to the cellar or attic. The houses have cellars and attics. So that map should work out for you. So you are in the living room. Where do you want to take a look at next?
Well, it seems like this study only has one entrance, and it solves Andy's, criteria.
That's what I was
You
thinking.
want to go to the study? All right.
All right.
The study pretty much looks like the living room. It is faded wallpaper of a slightly different style. It is very worn, and it is completely bare. No furniture, no nothing except a layer of dust on the floor. And of course, as I mentioned before, all of the windows are boarded up securely, so you cannot see out, nor could anyone see in. So that is in the study, which if we use that as a map with north being up, you're in the southwest part of the first floor. So it doesn't appear anything special here, other than, well, it's a creepy house. I don't know if this kind of gets anybody on edge.
Not much for furniture anywhere, though.
Anybody
No.
want a ho-ho?
Yeah. Huh?
Anyone want a ho-ho?
Oh, okay. I thought he was
ho-hos in
like,
your bag?
Who wants to be Santa? But no,
Yep.
he's-
Ho-hos?
Yeah, I got ho-ho, yeah.
snacks.
Oh, I
He
knew
brought
it.
snack foods, man.
All right, dude, you can stay. I'll totally jump. totally have one of those.
Go.
Got you, bro.
Gotcha, bro. So this, as far as one exit, this would fit your description of a place where there's only one way in or out.
But we're
Also,
trapped here. If anything
there are two
comes
windows
at us.
on opposing walls, and not opposing, but the two windows on the outside walls, one on each outside wall, that are, like I said, boarded up completely. You're not seeing anything in or out.
Guess we can check the dining room next.
All right, let's go to the dining room.
All right.
Okay. The dining room is pretty much in the same shape, although there is a broken up old table in one corner. That was probably in good of good quality when it hadn't been all broken up, and one or two chair legs sitting around the room. But otherwise, it is a hardwood floor and has been pretty much stripped bare. The whole room itself is kind of just dark and dank and 10-something at night with a bunch of teenagers roaming around a supposedly haunted house kind of dining room.
Guess we'll make our way to the kitchen.
In the kitchen, let's see, it is linoleum on the floor in the kitchen. There's a big cast iron sink still in place, though the water isn't on, so you mentioned the electricity. There's no water to the place either. And there's a broken chair lying against the stripped counters. In the back corner of the room is the countertops with some cupboards in them. So doors and drawers and stuff in the countertop. That's it.
All empty.
Are you looking through?
Oh, yeah.
In the back of one of the cupboards under the sink is a rusted toolbox with a hammer, a pipe wrench, and some screwdrivers that are kind of rusted up.
Yeah,
That
that's
up on the counter just in
Tools, just
Okay.
in case.
later.
shh.
Making some clanging noises. You'll
Make-
wake the dead.
You're making too much noise.
I don't think anyone can hear us, Mike.
Yeah, the neighbors
There's
are.
always something listening.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say his name's JJ. I don't know why. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, Mike. Okay.
Check out these closets, I guess, there and right by the stairs.
The
maybe?
pantry.
Yeah. So outside there would be the most likely coat closets or something like that, and those are empty. There are some extra spots where plaster has been knocked out of the walls. Actually, this is kind of a theme throughout the house, that there are some spots where plaster has been knocked off of the walls, revealing the darkness behind it.
You.
Cellar first?
Up
Where
or
we go
down?
up?
Whew. All right.
Up or down?
Get the cellar out of the way, then we can just go up and we're good.
Yeah, that's
Just got to make sure the whole place is safe before you sit down, right?
Well,
Making sure there's nobody
Well,
hiding.
shouldn't
I'm
we
just
make
trying to-
sure there isn't something upstairs? Because otherwise they would just lock us in the cellar.
I'm sure we could bust a window out down there. or
The
something.
place was securely boarded, so if anybody is in there, then, well, they've been in there for quite some time and boarded themselves in somehow.
If we look in the
I'm thinking from Andy's perspective, sorry.
in the walls, can we see anything if we look in the darkness in the walls?
Nothing. I mean, it just looks creepy.
Because Stein would totally be like peeking around, like
Yeah.
Looking for
here.
goblins and stuff.
Are there any goblins? Okay.
Yeah,
so where you want to head next?
Let's go to the cellar then.
All right.
All right. In the cellar, let's see, I thought there was a better description here somewhere. All right, yeah.
I'm going to make sure that I stay to the edges of the
Okay.
cellar and not the center of the boards.
Okay. As you walk down the wooden stairway, you see that it's a dirt floor, and the ceilings are only about 6.5 feet tall. So although I don't think anyone here is that tall, you could definitely reach it with your hand, reach the ceiling itself. And in the middle of the cellar is an old coal furnace.
Whoa, it's Freddy Krueger stuff.
Yeah, man. And then around the cellar, there are some wooden, like, workbench counter type of things. Nothing on them. It's just kind of
Anything in the
barren.
furnace?
What's Freddy Krueger?
Right?
In the
Never
furnace,
seen Nightmare on
Andy,
Elm
there are
Street?
some ashes. That's about it.
Okay.
Nothing outstanding. Just what
Yeah.
you might expect from coal being burned up.
Gotcha.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to look that up.
It's
I'm
a Stein
No,
being
going to
Stein.
pull out my cell phone, look up Freddy Krueger.
And you know that's funny because I was saying that You guys would probably recognize it because it's 2017, but as like 14-year-olds,
14-year-olds?
you might not know
Never
Nightmare
heard
on
of
Elm
that.
Street. No. Unless, as the geek, as the bookworm kind of thing, you might have read something, but it would have been on IMDb or something.
Exactly.
Right?
Whatever.
Yeah. You probably didn't see the movie.
Such a weirdo, Stein.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to look it
Horror
up?
movies.
Yeah.
So then you look up and get JJ's knowledge of Nightmare on Elm Street type of stuff. And
I can't believe you haven't seen
So our
that.
phones still work in the house.
yes, your phone. You are not denied cell coverage
Yeah,
inside
awesome.
of this older home.
Oh, we're out in the cellar, just in case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's mainly wood and plaster. There's no real steel or concrete that's getting in your way. Now, granted, plaster can affect a cell signal, but it doesn't affect you in this house.
Oh, the cellar was a bust. You guys
Okay.
want to go upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's
So
in the
you're gonna-
furnace, though? You said it's just ashes?
Nothing, yeah.
It's like coal burned out years ago. Years and years and years and
No
years ago.
leftover anything.
Yep.
I don't know, Stein.
What?
Not much of a dare, yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
He's calling
We'll
out
see.
the prankster.
We'll see.
It's really just, if we don't get too bored to leave.
Nice.
I'm sure we can find something to do.
So, in the second floor, so we'll go up to upper floor, as it's called on the map. Just for simplicity's sake, I will call out the things that the adventure calls out, and
Okay.
just leave the rest of the rooms as, think of it as the room that it is, and it's just been cleaned out, and there's some plaster falling off the walls, and it's dusty. Upstairs,
Do we
in
know?
the,
Do we know when the house was last inhabited? I mean, roughly.
and that's something that I was just going to look up, and Kurt, you called me on it before I looked it up.
I'm sure.
Doesn't matter,
I'm
I'm just
sure we
curious.
really don't know because that would be part of the town legend.
It has
everyone's.
been, let's put it this way, it's been abandoned since before you were born.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about that as a reference? Because then it's just a long time ago. But as I pointed out earlier, as people do research like they did on Freddy Krueger, they might find out more official stories about what happened in the house rather than the ghost stories your parents told you. All right, so as far as the upstairs goes, the room I will call out is the master bedroom. And Stein, as he's looking around at everything, as you described, Kurt, the closet in the master bedroom, in the back of the closet, is a dark hole punched out between the walls of the closet. And it's dark. Like you look in there, and even with the flashlight, it's like the light doesn't penetrate the darkness. It's just really, really dark in there.
Dare you stick your hand in there?
I throw my empty monster can in it.
Yeah. And it makes the noise of an empty monster can hitting a couple of things on the wall and then like landing like it landed in gravel.
Can I see the can, the flashlight?
Yeah, I guess that was clever enough to say, yeah, you can now see the can down at the bottom of the hole. And as a disbeliever, you don't really think anything's going on here. But the can has fallen down to the first floor, and it looks like there might be some other stuff down there. Probably just bits of plaster or something, but there's something else down there with the can.
Or
So,
stick
like-
my head in there and look down at the flashlight.
Yeah. You get this this cold feeling, like it's cold in between the walls, but it's just looks the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's wicked dark.
It's wicked dark.
Yeah. It's like the flashlight penetrates a single beam straight
yeah.
down, and it doesn't really spread
I
out.
see my breath. Is it that cold?
Not yet.
Okay.
As the night goes on.
We haven't riled up the goats yet.
What time of year is it? Do we? I got the school.
What time do you want it to be?
It's
in
just
school.
before
Fall.
school started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's just before
Well,
school
well-
started.
so what's that?
It could be any point during the year. I'll go with school started, but then you guys would be in 8th grade
Yeah.
because you're going to be entering high school.
Okay.
So at this point, you'd then be 8th grade or sometime during the school year. And
Gotcha.
it's whatever time of the year that isn't summer,
All right.
because then you wouldn't be in school.
All right.
Okay. All right, and that is really the only room that's called out on the second floor. So as you walk around the bathroom, the nursery, the crafts room, and you just think of your typical haunted house thing. So of course, in the nursery, there's an old dilapidated crib in one corner that
A doll
is
Do I-
just kind of fallen apart. And,
Do I get anything when I touch the crib?
it's
there a creepy doll that we can burn?
There is
Stick it
when
in
you
Lady
touch
Mac's head.
the crib, you get confusion and anger from like an infant's perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not much.
But it's definitely anger, which you might not expect from an
Yeah, from an infant.
Yeah.
I'm hungry, but I gotta take a dump. I mean,
I'm confused about how these two things go together because I don't quite understand digestion yet.
this crap my.
I only get those boobs like 4 times a day, and I want more.
More boobs. More boobs. Are you going up to the attic?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So on the second floor, that square in the middle
Yep.
is a trap door where you pull it down, the stairs
Yeah.
come down, you go up to the attic.
Dudes, this is totally where the demon cults worshipped and like call nasty stuff. You know this is where it's going to be.
I haven't seen any runes.
Maybe you should
I'm
have
telling
went
you.
to that church thing
Tell you,
with
there's
Terry.
going to be like a pentagram in the middle of the floor.
Oh,
It's gonna be
jeez, come on.
crazy. You sure you want to go up here?
Yes, let's go.
You go first.
You want to go check it out with me, Jamie? What?
Yeah. There's got to be a bottle up there.
So this is like the pull down.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the ladder comes down.
You pull down, the ladder comes down, and you walk up the creaking steps
Oh, yeah.
of the ladder up into the attic, and as whoever's going first, who's going
I'm
first?
go first.
Andy.
So Andy, as you crest the top and your flashlight goes up into it, you see that the attic actually seems to have more stuff in it than the rest of the house did. And as other people go up there, you see in the attic, you find things like a wedding dress, a child's teddy bear. When you're walking around, there's a lot of creaking on the floor. Let me think what else we want to put in here. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's about it for now. So really, the things that catch your eye are a wedding dress and a teddy bear.
Okay. Is everybody up here then?
Can I use...
Yes. Unless somebody says they're not going into the attic, everyone's there.
Right, so I don't know how the mechanics work on this.
You tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you if it requires a roll.
I want Jamie to see when she looks at the wedding dress, like a
Yeah.
decrepit skeleton, like a decaying body of a girl inside of the wedding dress, like really super creepy.
You want to force her to try and see something?
Yes, using my Seeming's power.
Huh.
Do I have that power? Or do I have to spend points to get these powers?
In order to get those extra powers, you had to lose refresh points.
These ones are potential powers, but these I think I have, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I have
You
this. as
only
one of my
have
powers.
these two.
Okay, so this is a Seeming's Glamour.
So is this
which
like
allows me to
Stein's-
cause someone or something to appear to be other than what it is. Usually it's personal, but it may be used on other objects and people if they belong to you or have entered into a pact with you.
So in this case, you're causing an object to be something else. So you could change the wedding dress to look like something different, but the vision she gets from it wouldn't change.
It has to belong to him.
Okay.
It has to belong to me?
Yes.
Well, that's the other one. I think that's disguise.
But it may be
No?
used on, usually this is personal, but maybe used on other objects and people if they belong to you or have entered a pact to you. Okay. Well, in that case...
You're not going to mess with her yet.
No, like at this point, because this house has been a letdown. So how about as I go in, I want my backpack.
You're gonna
like
put on the
black
wedding dress.
snakes and cockroaches to start just crawling out of my backpack all over.
You could
would
do that.
That would be a thing.
And what effect do you want out of that other than other people see it?
That's all I want.
He just wants her
Okay.
to see it.
And you're
are you
only
trying to,
making
like-
her see it.
I mean, if I can make everyone see it,
I
great.
think
If
when
not,
it,
I want her
when
to
it
see
comes to a glamour, everyone sees it unless they know how to see through it.
Well, I think
So I don't
it
think
says you may use your
target-
discipline or deceit skill to oppose any efforts to discover. I think it just happens.
It does.
Yeah, so
and then
everyone
if
can see
somebody
it.
wants to prove it's not real, other than maybe slapping you in the head,
Right.
then they would roll something.
No,
to
I
try
just want it
and
to be
disprove
scary
it.
and creepy.
Okay. So that happens. What is it? Snakes and
Like black snakes and cockroaches.
Cockroaches and stuff.
scorpions. Like
just kind of crawl out of your backpack.
cascade kind of out of my backpack for just like 2 or 3 seconds.
So
and
don't
then
eat any of
skitter
his
across the
ho-hos.
floor.
Okay.
What the hell?
But I can say I didn't see it. Some like what like
So like Jamie's freaking out in the corner seeing all this shit and you're just like, what?
What? It's like in one of the Indiana Jones where he's got spiders all on his back
Yeah, it
and
is
they don't know it and they have to brush them off.
Yeah.
Right. So Jamie's just trying to freak people out. It sounds like not Jamie. Sounds like a
Actually,
Stein thing.
Can I
yeah.
direct? Can I direct it, or would it have to be everyone sees it?
You
I don't know.
are-
Read the power and you tell me.
Well, the glamour in this
I'm able
case
to
is you are
cause-
changing your appearance. You are not changing what somebody else
Right.
can see. You're changing your appearance, and everyone who looks sees that.
Right. Okay.
Yes. All right. So that happened. So what does Andy think about that? I'm curious.
And I see it come out of his backpack.
Snakes and cockroaches come out of his backpack. He doesn't seem affected by it.
Really?
It's like a really fancy whoopee cushion. It's really.
What?
Are you going to keep acting like this next year?
Like what? Like super cool and awesomely good looking and great in bed?
I don't know why I let you hang out with me.
Here you guys. I'm going to prep school.
Great in bed. No wonder my parents are sending me away. You guys are weirdos.
By weirdo, you mean awesome.
So you're trying to liven things up that way. All right. Who's being extra vigilant in this room?
Me.
Yeah.
My paranoid tendency is coming
Okay.
out.
What's going on, Mike? You still see dead people?
Huh?
Do we know about that with him?
You
Well,
do.
you do.
Well, I know, yeah,
Definitely.
but does everybody? It's like that's a
Have
thing.
you told others that you
No.
see dead people?
Okay.
So right now it's just been Andy.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, no. I have paranoid as a power or stunt.
Okay. So
I'm like I'm a little bit freaked out, and I didn't see what he did. I heard them react.
Okay.
But I was like looking at the wedding dress, and I thought I saw, like, you know how like in the dark your eyes play trick on you. So I'm thinking I'm seeing stuff, and I'm not sure.
as you gingerly take a step away from the wedding dress that made you see stuff, you realize the floorboard you just stood on sounds hollow.
Oh.
Unlike all the other ones up here, which don't sound hollow,
All right. Well,
because it's different.
did anyone grab a screwdriver from downstairs when we got that tool chest out?
The Boy Scout might have a pocket knife.
I do have a pocket knife, actually.
Can you think you can
Yeah.
just stomp on it a little bit? Just
Pry it up.
Yep. So as you pry up that floorboard, we will end this session and this episode, and we will pick this up at that point on our next episode. In the meantime, what do we, in 30 seconds or less, what do we think about the start of this so far?
Not too shabby. It's definitely
Not bad.
filling all those tropes.
Yeah.
Cool.
I dig it.
Kurt, what do you think now that you're drinking something?
I'm drinking Coke.
Coca-Cola Zero.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how. Obviously, I'm figuring out the mechanics.
Yeah.
And I need to read my skills more carefully, but it's good.
Cool. All right, I think we're off to a decent start. And actually, in the next session, or the next episode, we will definitely explore more into mechanics. And if we go into 3 episodes of this game, then we will definitely explore more mechanics because things escalate. It's a haunted house mission.
I do like the way we created the whole backstory.
Yeah, I like
10
that too.
minutes.
I like the
awesome.
way the adventure was put
The
together for
questions are
that.
very, very helpful.
Yes. But in the meantime, we will finish up this episode, and we can all say
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening.
Hasta luego.
Magic wand.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.